Hello World of Warcraft fans, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we're dealing with, in my opinion, a very unpleasant case because this incident once again shows that the current reporting system in World of Warcraft unfortunately doesn't work well. Before the complainers come crawling out of the woodwork again, I want to make one thing clear. I'm not trying to throw Blizzard under the bus here, but rather to draw attention to a problem. This problem has existed for years and now even bans 50-year-old fathers and so on and so forth. I'll show you what this is all about in this video. If you want to support me, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. At 38,000, the winner of the €100 giveaway will be announced, so feel free to help support this goal and make a member of the community happy. That would make me happy too. And yeah, let's get started. First of all, before we get into the player's case, in case you haven't seen how this usually goes, of course, WoW is a huge game with an incredible number of players. You can't check every single report by hand, I get that. But by now, the system is apparently almost completely automated. And no, of course, I'm not going to report this player now. I just want to show you the window. You can use this to report things like cheating to the WoW customer support, for example. And the problem with this is that Blizzard's system detects when someone gets reported very often. Okay, something's not right, and they get banned right away. And unfortunately, like in this case, it's not checked manually either. So that means if you're, I don't know, 30 or 40 people, you could just stand there and keep reporting a player the whole time. And then the system sees, yeah, okay, this person has been reported so many times, there must be something going on, get rid of them. Unfortunately, the whole thing isn't checked manually, or very rarely, and usually quick decisions are made that are irreversible. We can see that here. As he himself says, 20-year WoW veteran recently uploaded a video that really took off. Almost 40,000 views in a week. I am sort. And he says he's been playing for over 20 years. He was never banned before, never had any problems. And he always believed that if you got banned, then you most likely did something. This went on until around, let's say, May. The dude just got permanently banned, so out of nowhere, first he was still playing, then he got banned. They said it was a lifetime ban. And he didn't get, and that's the big problem with this story, any explanation. We can see that here in the first ticket. He says he appealed the punishment. He plays solo 100% of the time. He doesn't do dungeons, no raids, he doesn't bot, nothing. What could he have done for him to get reported? And then a GM responded, the whole thing was escalated for a review. The whole process can take a few days, please be patient. In the second ticket, it was then downgraded a bit. His punishment was reduced from permanent to just 6 months. So the poor guy is now banned until November. And what his problem is, and I can reveal that and totally understand it. He just says, hey, if I did something wrong, then please tell me so I know what it is. For example, he says in his video that he's a software developer and sometimes has applications running on his PC. And he just suspected, hey, maybe there was an application running where WoW might have thought it was cheating. But here, like I said, he never wrote anywhere, please remove this ban. He just wants to know what happened with it. And in the end, like I said, he got the answer here. The team looked over it. He now has a 6-month ban, and that won't be changed anymore. And this investigation will not be reopened. And yes, I personally find that very annoying. Then it went to a 4th ticket, where he at least got a response. The ban was issued in accordance with Blizzard's terms of use. So apparently something must have happened in-game. In the meantime, the 4th ticket he had opened disappeared out of nowhere. Because he put his entire add-on list in there and said, hey, maybe there's something in here. But in the end, yeah, he didn't get a clear answer. And his point, what he's simply saying here, is that he doesn't want to be automatically unbanned or anything like that. But he finds it really unfortunate that he was simply banned. He doesn't get any explanation as to why, for what reason, or how come. And with that, this case is closed. Some people have even speculated that not a single employee ever looked at it, but that it was evaluated by AI the whole time, which makes the whole thing pretty difficult. And that's how the first video ended. So in the end, he just wanted an answer, like what was the reason? Is there anything I can do to prevent this from happening again? Then his update came out recently. Blizzard responded, and here we can see he was temporarily banned because his account was reported multiple times by other players for cheating. Some examples of this are odds, account sharing, boosting, or hacking. And now we can see here until the 16th. He is banned until November 16th. And yes, that's the classic case that applies here, in my opinion. So, you can't know for sure now. Maybe these programs really were involved. But he says himself, or Blizzard also says themselves, he was actively reported by players for cheating. So Blizzard's software actually couldn't have detected anything here. And what I personally could imagine here, but this is just speculation because we weren't there. We've seen it very, very often that all these botters, when you take flowers and so on away from them and get in their way on their farming routes, these botters report a player with 20 plus accounts so that the player faces consequences. And to me, it really sounds very much like something like that happened here. He also says himself that his options are very, very limited now. Blizzard would have to reverse the decision, but at the same time, they themselves have said they won't do that. And now, for example, he has the option to file a consumer complaint, so he can escalate the whole thing even further. Honestly, though, and he says it here as well, I don't think this will help in any way to get his account unlocked again. And like I said, I'm not trying to put all the blame on Blizzard here. But in the end, in my opinion, customer service is there to help customers and therefore also players with problems, questions, and so on. I understand that in a game of this size, you can't support hundreds of thousands of people at the same time, that you don't have the manpower for that. But that a player gets punished like that and doesn't get any answer as to why, I honestly think that's really unfortunate. And now we just have to see if anything else happens. The whole thing has gotten pretty big now. Maybe Blizzard will take another look at it. But for me, it remains the same. This ticket-based ban system is anything but good. Will anything change about that? Probably not, but I still think it's important to talk about it. My condolences to him for sure that he lost his account after 20 years, even if for now. Luckily, I mean, 6 months is still tough, but better than forever. Personally, I think I would really lose the motivation to keep playing after that, because it just feels unfair to me in some way. But I also have to say, none of us were there. And maybe, you never know, I don't think so, but it's possible that he did use bots in some way. And, well, I just want to say, I don't think something like that happened, but maybe he did do something wrong after all. Since we don't know Blizzard's side here, what evidence they have, it's hard to say. But yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. What do you think about it? Feel free to write it in the comments. And with that, thanks for watching. See you in the next video and take care. Bye.